Hi friends, welcome back to The Dream and the Debt, or welcome if you're new. I'm Leah and this is my cozy little corner of YouTube where big dreams and tight budgets can coexist. Today I'm cash stuffing my third and final paycheck of January. For today's stuffing, I'm using my usual $580 from my paycheck, along with $120 that my boyfriend gifted me from his poker winnings, which brings today's total to $700. I'll also be moving any leftover cash from my wallet into a few of my savings challenges, which is one of my most favorite ways to keep smaller amounts working towards something meaningful. This video is all about closing out January intentionally, staying consistent, and continuing to build habits that feel sustainable and supportive. If you love realistic budgeting, cash stuffing, and progress over perfection, you're in the right place. So let's get into it. Okay, so first up, we're going to count out the cash that we'll be cash stuffing today. It's rather stuffed. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. $25 in ones. And then we have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100, 5, 10, 15, $115 in fives. So 115, oops. And then 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 100 and, or 210, and 10. And then we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 220s. And then we have a 50. Big sleeves are getting in the way. And then a $100 bill for a total of $700. All right, and before we get into cash stuffing that $700, I'm going to go ahead and empty out my wallet of any leftover cash from last pay period. So we have my wallet here. I hope all of you are having a lovely week. If you notice, my big sweater is covered in dog hair. I do have 2 very hairy dogs, so everything I own is covered in dog hair, so bear with me. So for this pay period, I had $20, $30, $35, $36 left over in groceries, and we'll put that off to the side. And then in gas, we have $5, $6. And then, as per usual, nothing left over in dining out. And then I don't stuff miscellaneous. That's just for when I pull cash out of other categories and go spending. So that is it for my wallet this week. And let's count it out. So we have 20, 30, 35, 40, 41, 42, $42 that will go towards our savings challenges, which we will do at the end. Okay, so I don't know why I put away my wallet, because the first thing we're going to do is Cash Stuff My Wallet for this pay period. And so first we have groceries, which is getting its usual 140, and it is getting 150, 3 20s, 2 10s, and 2 5s. Let me flip that around. So we have 50, 70, 90, 110, 120, 130, 135, 140. So 140 going into groceries. And then we have gas, which is going to be getting 70 this week. And it's going to get that in the form of 2 20s, 110, 3 5s, and 5 1s. Okay, so for gas, we have 20, 40, 50, 55, 60, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70. All right, $70 for gas, and that should be enough to get me 2 tanks of gas. I go through about a tank a week if I am on the higher end of like the amount of driving that I typically do, and then sometimes it's a little less. Just fixing my little tabs. Okay, and then last up is dining out, and that's going to be getting 50, and that's getting it in the form of a 20, 2 10s, 1 5, and 5 1s. So dining out has 20, 30, 40, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. $50. So it's getting a little extra this week. As I've said in previous videos, my boyfriend's youngest son is coming to visit us, and we're so excited. And I just want to be able to, allow my boyfriend to take care of him and us to be able to go out to eat, and I can kind of help pay for myself since me and my boyfriend both work with a tight budget. And so that is it for my wallet. Okay, and then next up, we're going to cash stuff my variable expenses binder. Sorry, I always say folder instead of binder. I notice it when I watch back my recordings. I'm like just always using the wrong words, but all good. Okay, and so first up is household, which is going to be getting $18, and that's going to be getting a 10. Make this bigger over here, sorry. It's going to be getting a 10, a 5, and then 3 1s. I keep off screen my budget on I keep it digital on an Excel spreadsheet, so I have an Excel spreadsheet up. So that brings household to 10, 15, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. $25 in household. And I did just refill toilet paper, laundry detergent, dishwashing detergent, and paper towels. So hopefully we have some time to build before any like big expenses like those need to be refilled. And then personal care is going to be getting its usual 15. It's going to get that in the form of a 10 and a 5. I have my hair appointment rescheduled for, I think, Wednesday this week. So excited for that. So we have 50, 70, 90, 110, 130, 150, 60, 65, 70. So $170 in personal care. And then next up we have car maintenance, which is also getting $15 in the form of a 10 and a 5. And I do need to get an oil change soon. Actually, technically I need to get it right now, but we need to save up for it. So 20, 40, 60, 70, 75, 80, $80 towards car maintenance. And then next up is pets, and pets is also going to be getting 15, and I did that in a 10 and a 5. I'm thinking about getting my dogs enrolled in training. I just would like to get them a little more, like have a few more commands and stuff like that. And so I'm thinking, I also said I wanted to get their teeth cleaned. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'll dip into emergency or just kind of start overstuffing this category. But yeah, so I really have things I want to do with my dogs. So I do need to save up for both. So 50, 70, 80, 90, 95, 100. But like the things I want to do with them are not emergencies. So I don't want to dip into the emergency fund, but it's a lot to be cash stuffing into like variables for pets. So I need to figure out, maybe I need another envelope in my low priority sinking funds binder. So, and then I'm just checking to make sure I wrote down my totals already. I'm just making sure they're correct as I go. And then date night, which is depleted right now, is getting 25, and that's getting it in the form of a 20 and a 5. So 25 total in date night. I've found out that this category is probably one that I spend more regularly on because my boyfriend takes us out for date night, but every so often I like to treat us. And, I like to eat out a lot. So if I'm going to ask if my boyfriend wants to eat out, I do like to contribute. And then hobbies is going to be getting 15, and that is getting it in the form of a 10 and a 5. So hobbies has 20, 30, 40, $45. And then entertainment is going to be getting $35, and that's going to be getting a 20, a 10, and a 5. So 20, 30, 35. Oh, sorry. What am I doing? Count it with this. And then, so that brings the total to 20, 40, 50, 60, 65. So 65 in entertainment. I did just use some of this. I went out to eat with my coworker who came into town to visit my store, which was really nice. And we had a great time. And then supplements. Oh, guys, I'm sorry. I think I'm just thinking ahead right now. And so it's distracting me. Supplements is not getting anything. Oh, okay, yeah. Supplements isn't getting anything, so I can go ahead and count what we do have. So 50, 60, 65 in supplements. And then I feel like I made a mistake. Let me go back here. So, okay. So we have 20, 40, 50, 60, 65. Okay, I have 65 in entertainment. I need to fix my sheet. I wrote that I have 45. Okay, I'm not sure. Oh, yeah, anyway, I'll figure that out. But that's what distracted me. Okay, and then buffer is going to be getting 17, and that's going to get a 10, a 5, and 2 1s. When I sit down and decide how much is going where, I do like to take into consideration anything that isn't an even well, or not an even number, is like ending in 0 or 5. So sometimes I like to deal with like numbers ending in 0 or 5. And so after I have unstuffed for the week, if there's anything that's not to a good even number, I will put the amount that I need to in order to get it there. I hope that makes sense. So in buffer, I now have 10, 20, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. And that just helps with breaking change later on in the week if things are always at 5 or 10 and you need to like dip into an envelope and break a 20 or break a 10, something like that, if that makes sense. And that is it for my variable expenses binder. Okay, and next up is my high priority sinking funds binder. Nice. And then emergency fund is fully funded. Kind of, maybe I should move that to the back so it's not the first thing. And then car finance is going to be getting 100 in the form of a $100 bill. So it has 1,000, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900 in the bank, and $100 in cash for a total of $2,000. I need to get more $1,000 placeholder, which is exciting. And then month ahead is not going to be getting anything because, like I've said previously, I don't cash stuff this regularly, but if I get like a bonus or extra paycheck or something like that, I am going to start to put it towards month ahead because right now I'm not funding my emergency fund anymore. And it just feels like maybe I should be every so often putting away towards emergency expenses, even though I've technically met my goal of $1,000. Tires and repairs is going to be getting $40, and that's going to be getting it in the form of a 20 and 2 10s, which brings my total to 100, 200, 300 in the bank, 350, 70, 90, 410, 420, 430, $440. So $440 total in tires and repairs. And then health is going to be getting 35, and that's going to be getting a 20, a 10, and a 5. I don't know why I keep grabbing the cash out of the envelope first. Sorry, you guys. So 20, 30, 35. I think my brain is just in a million different places right now. Okay, so health has 100, 200 in the bank, 220, 40, 50, 55, 60. So $260 total in health. And then pet emergency, we're going to be putting in 15 in the form of a 10 and a 5. Which means pet emergency has 100, 200, 300 in the bank, 310, 20, 25, 30. So $330 in pet emergency. And then annuals is going to be getting its usual $15 in the form of a 10 and a 5. So it has 50, 70, 90, 100, 105, 110. So $110 in annuals. And that is it for my high priority sinking funds binder. Okay, and next up is my low priority sinking funds binder. And first up, we have travel, and travel is going to be getting $20, and that is getting that in the form of a 10 and 2 5s. So travel has 100 in the bank, 110, 20, 25, 30, $130 total in travel. And then style is going to be getting 15, and that is going to be getting that in the form of a 10 and 5 1s. Oh, sorry, I'm going out of order, but I'm going to go ahead and go with it. My Excel spreadsheet is not in the same order as my binder right now. I need to fix that. So we have in style 20, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. So $35 in style, which is correct. So now we are going back to self-care. So self-care is also getting 15 in the form of a 10 and a 5. So self-care has 500, 600, 700, 720, 730, $735. And then next up is holidays, and holidays is getting a 10 and a 5. So holidays has 20, 30, $35. This is my one envelope for like all holidays and birthdays. Maybe eventually when I'm able to lower my living expenses to be able to have a higher budget to cash stuff, I'll have separate envelopes for things, but right now I just use one. And then we already did style. And then next up is home decor, and home decor is going to be getting 10 in the form of a 5 and 5 1s. So home decor has 20, 30, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, $40 in home decor. And then giving is our last envelope to cash stuff, and it's going to be getting $5 in the form of a 5. And I am having someone, my boyfriend doesn't live with me, but he does come over and stay over here a lot. And I did have like this coupon thing for getting a maid to come over and clean my house, and so I just wanted my house to be extra clean for when his son comes over. And so I did pay for a cleaner to come. They haven't come yet, but I'll let you guys know how that goes because it was a really great deal. It was $40 for 4 hours of cleaning. But anyway, I'm going to tip out of giving. So 20, 40, 45, 50, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60 in giving. And that is it for my low priority sinking funds binder. All right, and lastly, we're going to cash stuff the leftovers from my previous pay period from my wallet into my various savings challenges. So let's first count out what I've got. So we have 20, 30, 35, 40, 41, 42. So $42 for my savings challenges, which is great. And like for the last couple weeks, I've had a ton left over, and that's not really normal for me. So this is like a much more, even still a little high, but much more what I would anticipate having. And so we are going to skip the Coco's Plant Challenge this week. So nothing is going to the Coco's Plants Challenge. And this one is finished. So actually, I'll do that off camera, but I'm going to move it to the back. And then for the Autumn Cash Savings Challenge, Challenges by BL Budgeting, it's going to be getting $20 in the form of a 20. So let me color that in real quick. If you guys have any shops that are your favorite for savings challenges, let me know. I am going to need more soon, and I would love some suggestions on who to get savings challenges from. So my Autumn Cash savings challenge from BL Budgeting has 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 90, 95, 100. We've hit 100. And then my sweater weather savings challenge is going to be getting $2 this week. So I'll go ahead and draw that out. Put that down. So 1, 2. So it has a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. $18. And my sweater weather savings challenge from Breathe and Budget. And then, sorry, I think this is getting in my way. My Ho 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 savings challenge by Savings with Grace is going to be getting two. I'm going to mark out two the $5 ones. So we'll go ahead and I just am doing a dot. These are so cute. I don't want to draw all over them. So 5, 10. And so it has 10, 20, 25, 30, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43. $43 in my Savings with Grace savings challenge that I got as a freebie. And then I am going to skip this one and go to my last one, I think. Actually, I guess it doesn't really matter. They both have the same amount in them, but I'm going to go ahead and do this one. So my Polar Bear Peekaboo Challenge is going to be getting $10. I'm just putting a little dot. And so it has 10, 20, 30, 40. $40 in my Polar Peekaboo Challenge by Crafted by Coco. And that is it for my savings challenges. All right, friends, that wraps up my third and final January paycheck cash stuffing. Closing out the month like this feels really grounding and reminds me how powerful consistency can be over time. If you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you liked and subscribed, and comment below, how do you usually use extra or unexpected money that comes your way? Thank you so much for being here and supporting my journey. Let's dream boldly, budget beautifully, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, y'all.